Hey everybody, Cathryn Hartt here of Heart and Soul Studio, the acting coach. Yeah, I'm having a good time. I pretty much always have a good time. I love life. It's wonderful. I hope you guys are positive. I hope that you love life. I hope that you're happy. You know, when I work with people, I am not so much concerned with you're going out to win an Academy Award and become rich and famous. I mean, I hope you do. And I really want to train you to have great acting skills. But I don't know, I've been around for a while, and I have found out that really the only thing that truly matters to me is that I am fulfilled, that I have joy, and I don't mean just happiness, I mean joy. Joy goes through your soul. Happiness is only for a few seconds. I guess that's a matter of semantics, but anyway, you can call it anything you want. You know the feeling I'm talking about. I love that. In fact, when I first started my studio, I had a point where I was working so hard and it was so tough, and I had two other dogs that I loved dearly, Buddy and Holly, and Buddy was dying of cancer, and I loved him so much, and he only had a few days left to live, and I wanted to take him to the lake and you know, and spend the whole day at the lake because he loved it so much. But I knew if I stopped working as hard as I could, my business would fall apart, and my life would be over as I knew it. And I was just working so hard and so frantic. You ever get in one of those stages? Most of the time, where you're just like pushing and moving and doing, and you forget why you're doing it. You're doing things that make you happy, but you're not really fulfilled. And I was in one of those states, and I loved what I did, and I worked really hard, and it was when I was first starting my studio, my acting studio, and I loved it, and I worked, but it was just work, and I was so frantic to do it. And but I decided that I would take off a day and go to the lake, and I knew my whole business would fall apart, but it was worth it because I loved Buddy so much, and I would take him to the lake. And I went to the lake, and it took me all day long, well, not all day, but about 5 hours of sitting there before I really let go. And I would sing like little lullabies and things to him, and I lay back in the grass. The ground is very healing, by the way. You must go to nature. Lie on big rocks and lie on the ground. Lean up against trees, things that ground you and that bring you back to reality. And I was there, and I finally, lying on the ground, looked up into the sky, and I really saw how beautiful it was. I hadn't seen it before, but it was this beautiful day, and I was so full of joy. And I thought, oh my gosh, oh, I have made a terrible mistake. Oh dear Lord, when I opened my studio, I asked that you bring me people that I loved and I could communicate deeply with, and that I would have prosperity and doing what I love. I'm sorry, I made a terrible mistake. Take all that away. Strike that first prayer that I put out. And what I really meant to ask for, no matter what it means, is this feeling. I meant to ask for joy. Just pure joy of life. That's what I meant. That's all I really want. And the next day, I got a little knock at my door at my studio. I had a commercial spot that I leased, and the guy said, hey, my lease is just been taken away from me, and so you have to be out of the building by Friday. Now, the day before, I would have thought, oh my God, one more terrible thing in my life. I would have died. I'm for sure. But instead, because I had asked for this joy, I knew that's really what this was an answer. You know, I just have found out that the answer to your prayers and your dreams coming true never look the way you think they're going to look. They look quite different sometimes. And I knew this was it. So instead I said, thank you. And that put me in a space where I could very clearly see, oh my gosh, I need to buy a house. I mean, I'd never thought of this before. I need to buy a house and put my studio in the house and get rid of this commercial, huge rent I'm paying every month and work out of a house, because I'm already taking people outside to get them out of this sterile space, to get them to roll in the dirt and climb a tree, to let go. And I don't even like working in this sterile little space. I'm going to work in a house. I'm going to put my studio in a house, and I have all this stuff where I can let people loosen up and really have real scenes and real couches and real kitchens and take them outside. And that's what I did. And it was sort of like, if you build it, they will come. Immediately, I mean, everything got fabulous. And people just started flocking to me. And I work harder than I ever worked in those early days now. I work much longer hours. But I am so full of joy. I love it. Yeah, I get tired sometimes, but I am so full of joy and fulfilled. And I love everything that I do, and I love all my clients. And by the way, he also happened to keep giving me people that I could connect to deeply with my heart and soul, pun intended. So, I know this is a long intro for what we're going to be doing today. I would like for you to turn off the video for a moment, not because you're sick of me, but to turn it off so you can go get a piece of paper and a pen, because I want you to write a few things down. Okay, turn it off. Okay, welcome back. Did you go get your little piece of paper and pen, or did you just sit there and look at a blank screen? I do hope your life is going to be more interesting than sitting there and looking at a blank screen. So hopefully you went and got a piece of paper and a pen. Any rate, so our assignment today is actually quite simple. I want you to figure out what it is that really drives you. Because you really need a fire in your belly, I think, to achieve anything that you really love in your life. You want to find the passion, the thing that is really going to make it fulfilling. Because if you don't really care about it, you don't feel that great if you do it. So I have found personally for my own life that there are two things that usually drive me. Number one, something that I want more than life itself, that truly is a dream or goal or something that makes me feel good about myself. And the other thing is something that kicks my butt and makes me really not want to be in this place anymore and get myself moving forward because I hate where I am, or there is someone I'm trying to get away from, or I'm scared of staying here. So, both are great motivators. I mean, I don't think that you should really, do things in your life just because I'm not happy here and if I go someplace else, I'll get away from my problems. That's not really going to happen. Truly, where you are is where you're happy. And if you aren't happy in a hole, you're not going to be happy in a castle. The end. But what I mean by moving forward towards something you want or moving away from something you don't want is something like, let me give an example of my sister. My sister, who's Morgan Fairchild, who I love, 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 the best sister in the world. Okay, some of you are going to fight me on that one, but truly, she's a great lady. And when we were kids, she had a great motivator. She had two versions of it. One was a thing that drove her forward, and one was a thing that pushed her forward. The thing that pushed her forward was her fear of being that little scared, shy girl who stayed hidden away in her own room reading books about other people's wonderful lives for the rest of her life. That began to terrify her. And the thing that motivated her was that she wanted to live a life that someone would want to write a great book about. So they worked hand in hand. Sometimes it's someone that you really admire and you would like to emulate your life, after something that they have actually achieved. There's Boo barking. He loves to bark. At any rate, he's just, chiming in and agreeing with me. Isn't it nice how our dogs can be saying whatever we think they should be saying in our heads? At any rate, so what I want you to do with your piece of paper is I want you to think about what it is. I want you to do more than think. I want you to get into your soul. And I want you to really get clear. This may take a little while, or you may know immediately, about what it is that I truly want, that would be fulfilling. Like to me, I thought it was that I wanted to connect to people, but it really was that I wanted the joy of living, which does include connecting to people. But it was this fulfillment, this joy, this gratitude, this love of being alive and appreciating the beauty, seeing beauty in the world around me. It is everything to me. I love nature. I love connecting deeply with the universe. I truly do, and that includes connecting deeply with humans and animals and all sorts of everything else. And the thing that I think scares me the most is, I'll have to think about that. It is that I would be stuck, forgotten, not making a difference in the universe. That I would have just passed by and it didn't really make a difference. And I bet some of you guys can identify with that. So look and see the things. Maybe what motivates you is that you must find out if you can make it in LA. It's your dream. And you're scared because maybe you won't, but you're scared, more scared that maybe you will and you didn't give it a chance. So it will drive you to go and see. Try to see if I can make my dreams come true. And the journey is wonderful, guys. Whether or not the dream looks the way you think it's going to look, the journey is truly what matters. And what's driving you from the back is that, what if I spend the rest of my life burning an oil inside of myself, knowing in my dreams every night, you chickened out, you didn't do it, you didn't do it, you're a failure, you didn't even try. All right, so you find out what really motivates you. Maybe the people in your life are so negative, not just that you're miserable and you haven't gotten your life together, but you are surrounded by a very negative space. It truly is negative, and it just permeates everything in your soul, and you must free yourself from that. And so your dream is to become, to move to a place where there is positive, and to purposefully to surround yourself with people that are supportive and positive. Not yes men, but people who say positive things and who move forward in their lives. And that can be very, very helpful. Maybe it's where you live. Maybe it doesn't feel right where you live, and you want to go someplace that you've always dreamed of living. But again, making sure that you understand that you are the same person wherever you are, and that truly the happiness and joy has to be wherever you are. You should be able to be happy surrounded by negative people, but in order to get to a good enough space where you are able to keep yourself balanced, you should probably start by surrounding yourself with positive to see what it feels like and to take inspiration. So basically all I'm saying is, number one, write down what is your inspiration, what moves you forward, and number two, write down what is the thing that's kicking your butt. All right? So, is it the carrot or is it the whip on your butt? Okay? You need both of them, I think, in your life to really move you forward. And find out what you're passionate about. Find out what you truly do want. Find out what you would die if you didn't have in your life. Or at the end of your life, if you hadn't done this, that your whole life would have seemed, oh, I almost. All right? So, that's all. Get your little piece of paper and your pen and give yourself some space. Go out in nature or something, because you can think and feel and get more inside of yourself and what your purpose really is if you go outside and chill out. And like I did many years ago when I found out what I really wanted, I needed 5 hours out there just unwinding from all the garbage in my head that I had allowed to become my life. Your life should be from here. So what is here in your heart that moves you forward? And what is here on your butt that moves you forward? Okay, so go have some fun. See you next week.